It's a rainy day today, and we just thought of catching up one of the best footballers Goa has ever produced, Bruno Coutinho, one of the Arjuna award winners from Goa, out of the two from Brahmanand Sapwakar sir and Bruno Coutinho. Only two Arjuna award winners over all these years of sports era in Goa. We are at the Don Bosco's in Panjim, where the football for the Sporting Day Club of Goa is going. They train here, and we are lucky to catch Bruno sir. Good morning, sir. Good to have you on the chat show.
Morning.
A lot of things heard about you. I could consider you like the Pele of Goa in football. Lucky to meet you. Just wanted to highlight on how you started playing football and how it groomed into your blood and how it moved on.
See, first and foremost, I was studying in St. Anne's High School, Mondigiri.
Okay.
And I was a Bodo. We had 800 Bodos in the school. And I studied from 1st to 10th over there in the boarding. My parents, my dad was outside, my mom was at home. And so the life started in the school. So we basically, in the school, it is completely different. It's not like how you are at home and this thing. You get a lot of, it was only a boys boarding. We had a corridors in the school, in the boarding.
In the boarding room.
In the boarding, and there were no proper grounds. Also, grounds were down, but in the boarding you have no see. And it is if somebody has been to the school, they will know better what it is. And if
lot of dormitories.
Dormitories and the classrooms were there, and the classrooms has a corridor over there.
Yeah.
So we had some friends. I had one friend, Stanley Colosso, who is with customs now. His brother Marshall. We used to make a ball out of socks.
Okay.
Socks. You put papers, roll one.
Soft ball.
If you put papers, you make a big bunch. You run, roll, and we used to play with that ball on the corridor.
In the corridor, with no noise but a lot of things. You used to enjoy the indoor type of football there.
Yeah, but and Bodos, Bodos are very naughty. So we had a very hard life in school.
What age was this? What was your age at this time? Maybe at 13, 12, even younger, 10, 11.
See, basically from first standard you see the age.
First standard. Okay.
From the first standard. And basically we started from that third, fourth, and from fifth and onwards we were in the higher district. That started to play
football.
more football. Because see, during school life I had been for athletics, 3-star, Hockey. I have been for nationals. I've been nationals for hockey, under 15, under 17. Football had been for nationals. I was the captain of the team of the school team for under 17 when we won. That was a life which we.
So you first got into limelight when I think the Subroto Cup for the juniors. Yes, Subroto Cup, and you were leading the Goan side, correct? What I meant.
Yeah.
When was it? Which year was it? And that was the first time Goa won, I think.
So under 23 team which we won in Fatauda.
That was Subroto Cup.
No, it was a Santosh Trophy team which we won in Goa.
Okay. So that was the second time Goa won Santosh Trophy.
No, they had won first, but during my time, after a long time, we won that trophy.
Okay. So yeah, I got into that. First, you started. Let me come back to your juniors. You got into this football neck, and then you started playing football. Then you got slowly picked for the Goan side. You were the captain of the under 17 Goa team, which won the Schools Cup, All India Schools Cup, I believe.
No, we had Schools India tournament.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
And I was that time after my SSC and after my schooling, this thing I was with Dempo Engineering.
Okay.
Then we had joined Salongas.
Okay.
First year.
First year. So you were captain of your school team, St. Anthony's. I mean, they have a great history of football, I believe, in Goa at least. Don Bosco's and St. Anthony's, a lot of football rivalries.
In Bades, Don Bosco's.
Yeah.
In Bades, we had Britos, Duler and Giri.
Yeah.
And one Don Bosco school was there from Kalangut and Savex High School from Sholin.
Okay.
But we used to be, most of the time we used to be champions.
A lot of champions.
We used to be under 14 champion, under 16, under 17 champion.
That time there was no much infrastructure of tournaments and well organized, but still I think the school football only developed a lot of football in Goa, right?
Yeah.
You were one of the footballers, we can say, who came out from the school cottage in a proper levels, who played under 16, under 19, under 17, academic level of football. One of the few footballers who have come out and played for India. Did you play for India under 19?
I was with the school's India team.
India
because
school
the Russian team had come to India.
School's team.
A school's team, and we had 2 exhibition matches. And the All India Football Federation had selected us. We were there. I was one because I played in Coimbatore. I had joined Salangas.
That is at the age of 17, I think.
Yeah, 16 something.
Because schools म्हटल्यार it will
16, 17.
Schools म्हटल्यार त्यांना under 17, त्यांना under 19 बी म्हाका चड नाशिल्लें दिसता. पूण
No.
schools म्हटल्यार it would be like under 17. Under 17 used to call because we call as schools. When higher secondary but in schools considered करताले.
I know. I was playing in for Salangas in Coimbatore.
Okay.
We won the tournament in Coimbatore.
Okay.
And I was selected. I was told that you have been there only. The information was there that you have been selected with the Indian team to play 2 exhibition matches.
Wow.
One exhibition match was in UP, and one exhibition was
against the Russians.
Yeah, against the Russians.
Touring Russians.
Yeah.
So that was your first feel of the India coming to you, towards you in the football.
Yeah, that was the first. And we played that, and I know I still remember. I scored a goal. We were down by 1 goal. I equalized. Again in Cochin, I scored a goal. I scored 2 goals.
Coming to your you started from school at Anthony. You said you started with the socks ball in the dormitory area. Even Camilo sir that day he told me about playing, but he was playing on the ground with the big soft ball, because he could not afford the ball at that time. You started off that. Did you ever think that you're going to wear an India cap or you're going to wear an India jersey at one particular time? Did you start playing football? When was the time you thought that I'm playing football to play for India? Till then you were playing for fun. So I just wanted to know that moment when you realize that yourself, you realize that you have that potential in you, that can I do it that much? When was that particular feeling coming into your head?
See, in school, nobody says that you are better or you will play for India, this thing. But my thing, I'll tell you, I was the captain of the under 14 team, which we went to this thing, Bruno Coutinho in Delhi. I played very well in Delhi. I was selected for the school's India team.
Okay.
In Delhi.
Okay.
Yeah, and I used to get the scholarship, in Suprato Mukherjee Cup. There was a scholarship of 225 rupees per month used to get.
Wow.
And I was selected for one of the guys that time.
Who were the other guys? Anybody else?
No, only one used to get. The best used to get. But afterwards, when I came back, I was selected for the school's India team, and I was in the SSC, and I had to go for the camp in Patiala. Patiala is, if you are alone in the school and you go alone, it is like very difficult to go. You don't know what
in the north area, Haryana and Punjab. Very dangerous.
And that time there were terrorist attack and all. Yeah. And I still remember it. I can still brief you in that also. I told my principal, Father Joel was there, that he was the headmaster. He said, Bruno, please carry on. You are our best. You carry on. So I didn't go home because in that time you had no much money also. For whom you ask money? Mom gave me little money, so I took a bus from Mapsa to Pune.
Wow.
See, Pune bus stop, then go to the railway station, book your ticket, go to Ambala Kant, that is in Ambala. Ambala, the train is to reach around 4:30 something.
In the morning. And your age must be around 14 at that time.
Yeah, 14.
Yeah.
You reach Ambala, 4:30. Just imagine I'm alone with one bag and going to in that sleeper this thing, and I went. And from Ambala, you get a bus. Only the first bus starts around 5:30.
To Patiala.
And from Patiala, you have to go by the cycle rickshaw to the
stadium.
That hostel which is there, Patiala hostel which is there. You have to go by cycle rickshaw. And on the way, you used to hear the news that the terrorist has attacked this and that buses. So it's if you don't take a step, then you won't lead anywhere. See, my life is not this that you go here, you get it. No.
You have to move on. You have to make a determination more.
See, if you are truly a sports person in life, you have to come according to a lot of hardship, lot of this thing. But at the end of the day, you will be always happy that you have achieved something. So it is.
You look back, you feel good about it.
Yeah, definitely. See,
today you are sitting on a coffee table and telling us about this But I can imagine what must have been in your heart at that particular time. At the same time, you have to reach for your football. You know that's your ambition. So you had that thing in your mind focused. That football is my thing. On the way, I have to face life, lose life. You are ready for it.
Definitely, it is not that life is very easy for you. Even when we were going for practice, also life is not that easy. I know what difficulties we had, and I was the only guy from this side who used to go for practice first.
So you got into the Patiala camp, and there it was all started.
Yeah,
Bruno
there-
came into the reckoning of all the India levels, basically. I can understand.
No, then it was the schools India camp. We had for 1.5 month camp.
Who were the forwards with you along at that time?
During that time, there was one more guy, my friend, who plays for me also, Dominic. We were in the same school, but he had gone first.
Okay, previous.
Actually, the camp got over. First, the camp got over. We came back. But the second camp, the father used to, our principal was not allowing me because our goalkeeper was allowed. But at last minute they called from Patiala saying that we need call this. So I went again back to the Patiala for the second camp, and for the second camp, there was a practice match being played. I came there and they put me for the practice match. I scored 2 goals.
Okay.
And that time I was.
You were always a prolific goal scorer, not just a footballer who could just dribble and get the status of a good football. But I have checked the records, what you have got, and what I have heard parallel to what you have been growing. You have been always a good prolific scorer. I mean, maximum target shot. Now they calculate the targets, shots at target. You are a person who always shot at the target and got the goals. You came into limelight at that particular time. You were already offered by Sargaonkar, I think. Your club has been Sargaonkar all the way through, or how it started in your club level?
No, I'll just be with the Indian team. Then we went for this tournament in Brunei. I was selected and I went to Brunei. That was my first international with the schools India team. And I scored goals over there. But that time there was no record.
Record and television also, yeah.
Who kept the records about what this guy scored?
But did you write a diary at least of yourself?
I have the cuttings of my old cuttings.
Yeah.
That is this. But afterwards, when I came back, after my SSC and all, I finished my SSC. I was signed by Dempo Engineering.
Okay. Dempo Engineering was a team playing in the local league.
Dempo Engineering was my
upcoming team.
Yeah, was my first team, and you would not imagine what we were from a bunch of players.
College boys, basically.
No, bunch of, I was only among them. I was young. There was my friend Marcelin from Baga, Lucky Shek he is now. They guided me. They used to say this guy is very good. This guy
supported me.
Yeah. So we used to take 1:30. See, our practice used to be at 3 o'clock. 1:30 Kadamba bus used to come from Sholem. We used to be at 1:30 on this thing. That time that no bikes, nothing. So we used to come from Sholem. The bus used to come Sholem, Kalangu, Tinto. From Tinto, take the bus and come here. Come to
in
Kampal.
Who was your coach at that time when you started for Goa?
We had a coach in the school,
Salu. Yeah.
He was an ex-Cesar player.
Okay.
I'll tell you one.
What was his full name? Salvador
Fernandes. What practice he used to give, and what goalkeepers he made, still respect him. He is a gem of a person, I'll tell you one thing. No doubt about him. No doubt means no doubt about him, because I know in Giri, we had no ground like a grass ground. We had all stones.
Stones, right.
Giri, Mondigiri down, the school ground is there. And the school ground is like the water used to come from top. When the rainy season, water used to come, and the water used to be. He used to make us roll in that water.
Wow.
What fitness he used to give, you would not.
He had his own ideas to create.
Yeah, he is what he tells me when we meet him. Like, I used to not teach you what normal teaching and all. What I was taught by my coach in Cesar, he used to teach us the same thing. There
are few people who come out like that who stay exceptional, unique ways of teaching, unique ways of playing also. Like you still respect as a school coach, and then you come into the Indian team. When you came to the Goan the affiliation for the Goan team, who was your coach for the Goa team at that time?
See, my respect is for Arman and Peter Wallis.
Okay.
They are coaches, who will be with the players and guide the players. Both of them.
On-field coaches.
If you ask me, Arman is one of the best coaches.
Okay.
During my time, What and Pitawali's both together. They used to make a both good pay,
As a coach together. So you got into, you have a lot of respect for the ex-Goan footballer. Arman, I think I'll be covering him also in my future. You have a lot of respect and you moved on from Goa and then you got it signed for Dempo Engineering.
Yeah,
From Dempo Engineering, where did you move on?
See, when we were from Kalangut, guys, coming to Dempo, we used to, I'm not saying, we used to come to play for 10 rupees, We used to get 10 rupees to play for Dempo Engineering. But for us, money was not that important because
I think it was the lowest paid. It was a new club.
Dempo Engineering was a junior team of Dempos.
Yeah.
So behind Dempo House, which they have there now, they used to in the market they used to get shake for 2 rupees. In Kala Academy you should get bhaji for 2 rupees. But we used to enjoy our life because but Dempo Engineering, Salset Football Club were the toughest team because they were the generation from the youngsters used to come and they were the nature. The clubs used to take place from there.
It was the beginners. That time there was no Colts or under 19s or something
nothing.
It was those were the two clubs who used to feed players to the big club. So from Dempo Engineering, where you moved on?
See, I was Dempos. Dempo Engineering means definitely Dempos will
look at you.
Yeah, look at me. But Dempos didn't
give that
when I was there. Dempos didn't give me that importance.
But Sargankos picked you up.
Suddenly, a new club was formed in that current time, MRF.
MRF, okay.
And MRF football team was formed, and a lot of players from Salonkas and from Salonkas, Dempos had gone to MRF. And that's the time then they picked us up and we went to...
So from Dempo Engineering you moved on to MRF?
No, from Dempo Engineering we were called by Henry Brito to Salonkas.
So you moved on to Sargankos. That's so Sargankos lost some players and they needed some youngsters. You were the first few of them.
We were the first batch. In that batch we had, I was there, Jude Fernandez from APSA. Then a lot of guys were there. But that was the tournament we went from. That tournament was for us that we had to go. No, in '89 it was. From '89, I was when I signed for Salonkas, I was called for I was selected as a first time with the Santosh Trophy state team. We lost in the semi-finals against Bengal in Assam.
That was it was already started to be under 23 Santosh Trophy, or it was open that?
No. First it was 18 and Santosh Trophy in 1989.
89.
Yeah, it's the big team. Then they brought it to junior teams.
Junior teams in the 90s, I believe. In the 95, post 95.
No, 90s.
90s.
Under 23 teams.
I think the first, as per this first, how many Santosh Trophies Goa has won so far? 2 or 3?
No, only 4 or 5.
4 or 5. Yeah. So you have been part of the Santosh Trophy team, which Goa has won how many times? One time.
I was the captain.
You were the captain. I think
we lost in the finals also.
Many times, a couple of times. You moved on from your club to Sargankos and then your career. All these names you have taken, for my records, which I know, there's always a combination between Bruno Coutinho and Roy Barreto. I'm still not getting to hear the name Roy Barreto.
Yeah,
when was that thing clicked and when it started on, your combinations? Even for India, I think you both played together. And a lot of things combined together to score goals.
That's the time we started in 1989 when Roy also joined us.
Sargankos.
Yeah, but Roy was not part and parcel of the first Federation Cup when Salonkas were the winners in 1987 in Delhi. Then we had to 1988 in Delhi. Then we were the winners again in 1989 in Coimbatore.
Okay, so you were a part of two teams twice.
Salonkas were 1988 were the winners in Delhi.
Okay.
And that time the players had left and gone to the other
MRF.
Yeah. So we were the.
So when did how was your? Tell us something about your Roy Barreto and your combination. What was to happen? I don't know whether you're friends or how things move on. Lot of combination, because whenever I used to hear football for India, you are playing. As growing up, I would always see that it's Bruno Coutinho and Roy Barreto. These two names would always travel together whenever they moved on, and then it would go for India levels also. For Goa also, you all played a lot of games together.
See, Roy with me is a very good player with me, a very good friend of mine. We were with Salonkas for quite a long time. A combination was a deadly combination. With the
Yes.
Goa team also, it was a deadly combination. So whatever I used to do most of the running. I used to take. See, Roy in the
to
box.
make the
Yeah,
formations.
Roy was in the box. He was very quick. If I take a shot, and if the ball comes rebound, Roy used to just go and tap it inside.
Right.
And Roy's leap, for hitting leap was very, very good. He used to jump very high and hit the ball because I know where I used to put the balls. So that was the combination.
You were a forward.
Yeah, he also was a forward.
Both were centre forwards or moving on the flanks?
Yeah, both were because because I'll tell you, my thing was total game. I used to be up down.
Oh, yeah, like a sweeper.
Yeah, from the right I used to play left also. I go no problem, but you used to interchange. That was the thing. And then Roy used to come at the exact time to intercept the ball. Yeah, finishing touches. That was the combination where we played well and we came up well.
You were a game maker, both of you, and then you all combined well. Who were the other guys at that particular time? Any names you could like to flash out with you, along with you, Roy Barreto is very famous.
Savio Madera was.
Savio Madera, I think he's in Dubai. He's a good friend of.
Savio Madera is he is with the Indian team. He's in Goa.
Okay. Because I had met him.
I think so. They are in Pune. I think so at present.
Yeah, because I had met Savio in Dubai. He was down there
with the Indian team.
Indian team, I believe, and we had a good time. You went on from. Let's come back to your moment. How it was. You came to Santosh Trophy and you got selected for Goa and playing for Santosh Trophy. How was it feeling? The winning the Santosh Trophy for Goa at that particular time.
See, we won the Santosh Trophy when with the tournament had changed to under 23.
Under 23.
For 2 years or 3 years it went for under 20. Then it went back to
normal. Again it has come back to under 23 now.
No, it has not come back to under 20. It is to this only.
Then why the under 23 players are playing that? Because I League players are not playing in that.
No, it is not. The All India Football Federation doesn't allow the registered players to play for the for the Santosh Trophy.
Okay.
They have some rules.
Okay.
So that's why it is a different this thing.
Currently.
Different thing that the I League players cannot play for the Santosh Trophy.
Okay, tell me about yours. What you're saying about Santosh Trophy. I cut you on that.
See, Santosh Trophy. That was 1990. The tournament was in Goa. Then that time we had a lot of players. During the qualifying round, we actually lost. We lost actually, but due to the host, we were qualified.
Okay.
And we were in Goa at Fatota Stadium. That time I think so. Chachil Alema was the sports minister.
Sports minister. That should be something around 1989.
91.
91.
90. It was 90.
Yeah.
So we played so well. In the finals, Kerala and Goa had reached. If you see the crowd,
Full
amazing. We were staying in Margao residency in opposite the main where the municipality is.
Okay.
But you see the crowd, no? The game is around 4 o'clock. 2:30, the people are going home. Banners, everything, and it is raining very heavily. Stadium is packed.
It was the first time I think Goa was playing at home and it was Santosh Trophy finals.
And first goal I scored, second goal Roy scored. We won.
You won 2-0.
2-0, 2-1 something.
Yeah. So that got you into. When was it like you came into the Indian side, the main Indian side?
Our main Indian side was that Salongas were playing the Alliance Gold Cup in Calcutta.
Okay.
And suddenly the All India Football Federation announced the team for the President Gold Cup in Bangladesh.
Okay.
And go to see our names are there.
Who were the first lot along with whom you were there?
If you Roy was there, Roy, Derek, then
Camilo,
then
a lot of Goans in the team.
Maurice, Lawrence Gomes.
So who was your captain first time for India? Mauricio?
No. Captain was Manarajan Bhattacharya.
So you're a very young boy who was playing still Manarajan Bhattacharya time. That's
that those guys were deadly.
You got your Indian cap under Manarajan Bhattacharya. That's a long time back, and you must be hardly around 20 years at that time.
Yeah, around 18, 19.
How many years you continued to play for India after that?
See, first my camp was with the senior team in 1988.
Okay.
At academy. I was dropped at the last season because at that time there were many stars. And it was the team was going to Pakistan. I didn't take it too hard.
Probably the first time I was called for the camp, I was very happy. When I was called for the last camp, I came back for my class and I was ready. From 89 only I started my career scoring goals for Sarokas, doing a lot of things. And they say, some people, you know, in India, some people, they say that this guy will be a good player. Then we went for the main tournament, LS World Cup, and LS World Cup also. We went to Calcutta. And it was held at the Mohan Bagan ground. Mohan Bagan, when it plays, Mohan Bagan. Anybody will know the feeling what it is. It is Mohan Bagan ground is a small ground, like say Gamba ground. And they have wooden structures. They are not permanent structures. It's all military grounds over there. But we played, we lost in the semi-finals, but we were called for the India camp over there. First India camp. Only 7 days camp. And we were told like, you have to take your camp. When we were from home, we were told that we have to bring a passport. So we carried a passport every night. And we were our Saturday, we went to the Manoranjan was leading the team. Manoranjan, Gurjit Singh, big Krishnanode, Vikas Manji, all of these guys. We are just small, Roy, very big. That was the first experience with the Indian team. But from 89 till 2001, 2000, I was continuous with the Indian team.
89, that's almost 12 years. 12 years continuously for India. You must have played a lot of Nehru Cups and Asian Games.
One game Asian Games. But you know, that time, see, Asian Games were cleared only by the minister. That time, football should not get anything to do.
Yeah.
We had
only one couple of years you played, and then Iraq and the champion, then it was really.
We never got a chance to play for Asian Games because most of the time when our team was supposed to go,
the team was rejected.
So we are not.
Football was taken, withdrawn at the last moment. Nehru Cups, you got a lot of Nehru Cups.
Almost totally.
You played India 12 years, and how was it feeling? Any experiences you would like to share with international game? Any particular game you would like to, any particular goal which you have? So you must have scored a lot of goals for India as well.
I scored around almost not that big, but my thing was around say 10 to 15 goals.
For India?
Yeah, good goals.
Any experiences, any couple of experiences which you would like to share with at that particular time?
See, I want to. The first thing is about this Indian team. See, when we used to play for Indian team, our camp mostly used to be, see, 1990 batch was the pre-Olympic, 1991 batch was the pre-Olympic batch. We had a Hungarian coach. He was there. You know, that team had a lot of guys. So Roy was there, Godfrey, Jacinto, then Akhil Ansari, Yusuf Ansari.
Akhil Ansari was there for mobile years at that time.
They were from
East Bengal.
They were from Calcutta. They were from Norway.
Yeah.
They come from Norway. And the team is headed from Thunderstruck.
Okay. They were from Maharashtra.
That was my first experience where I was the captain in 1991. We played the pre-Olympic tournament was qualified now in Hyderabad.
So you became the captain of Indian team in 1991. In 2 years at that particular, you must be very young leading this senior.
123. Then 91. Then those years I was alone from Goa. We used to play for the Indian team. And 96 came we were in the same. 93 was the World Cup. We went to qualify round in South Korea. First was in Lebanon, and then second one in
93. That was the World Cup qualifier.
For the 94. And 90 and the second qualifying round was in South Korea.
95.
So just imagine the South Korea team playing. We didn't lose around 6-0, 7-0. We gave a tough fight to South Korea. We lost 3-0 with them.
And South Korea qualified
For the World Cup.
and they did semi-finals.
In 94.
Yeah, they did they did 2008.
94 they qualified.
They had a very good defense at that particular South Korea, I believe. You played against South Korea and which other teams in that qualified?
South Korea, Kuwait, Hong Kong, and Lebanon.
Lebanon also a very good team.
Very tough.
You have a lot of international caps. Your experience share with us. How was it a feeling? You were given nominated for Arjuna Award for the best sportsman in India at that particular round in football. And what was the feeling? Did you know the importance? Did you know at that particular time what was the Arjuna Award? Because of course every sportsman in India plays to get that award. Whatever he plays for India, or whatever game he plays, he wants to have that award. It's never possible. And you are only the second Goan to have it. Only 2 Goans have had it so far. How was your feeling when you were given the award? And which year was it?
It was in 2001.
Okay. The same year when you were reading the sign.
I played last. 2000 I played the last.
Okay.
For the staff Millennium Cup in Cochin.
Okay.
Every year you get a nomination to fill the form.
Your nominations were going for a long time.
Yeah, in fact for 3 years. Because where I had to get some other person because that time Arjuna was with IMG, they had a marketing agency. So that they were promoting. See, anything whoever promotes it. But during my time, when I said forget about the promotion, I filled my form and I sent it to them. That time there was committee. Like a PT Usha, all this. When they saw my report, I got it. Because my report speaks, it doesn't say that you get it from this thing. And I had captained the Indian team from 1991. I captained the second time in 1996-95, where we won the second gold medal in Chennai. Okay. It was after the 7 to 8 years. Then from 95 to 2000, I was a captain candidate.
So you were a long time being captain for India, dominating Indian football player, after being only 4-5 players from Goa, going to the camp where there are 40-50 boys training, 30-35 boys training, and then you're leading the side. How was the feeling, as I said, for Arjuna Award, you must have, it was not a surprise for you. As you know, all your time is stress, it's not a surprise.
Actually for Arjuna Award, that time it was in 2001. And before my career to be over, I had a slight, I had gone for fishing. Gentle had a problem, so a big wave came and he was just saved there. I had saved the 3 guys.
Oh, wow.
Because those guys, nobody saw that. I saw the wave behind coming. So I just saw it, I said, the wave is coming. And we were
winding it up.
And we were just about to go. Suddenly a big wave came behind and I said what should I do? It was good. Catch something. So this when people had caught something,
somebody thought your leg.
No, with the pressure of the water, this guy came on me.
Oh.
And I was trapped.
Okay.
And on the rocks where you fish, there are sharp rocks.
Okay.
So my leg, the rock
got stuck.
Yeah. So my tendon was
the big accident.
Yeah, my tendon was cut. But the doctor, see, my experience is that from that place to walk to that, the where we had parked the bikes is quite far. So I walked, but I could not realize anything. I walked, but when I went for the doctor, she stitched me up without noticing anything. She stitched me up. After it took almost 2 months to heal, when after the healing part, I started jogging.
You got a pain?
Yeah, but I could not take the pain from him. So then I said I had shown it to the main doctor, Dr. Mandari from Asco, who is in JNC. He said, Bruno, you have to redo it.
So you got an injury at that time?
Yeah, I did. The doctor did the operation for me. And I was at my in-laws place, taking lunch at home. Because I had not known about this form and gone and everything. It was quite good. Suddenly I get a call from my good friend from the Government Times reporter, Subhash. He said, Bruno, you have been confirmed with Arjuna. That part was my happiest moment because of all my friends. That time, phone calls came out to me. But I was on the bed, I could not do anything.
When you went to collect Arjuna Award, your leg was okay?
No, I went to meet the doctor. So I wanted to take my wife also for that thing. But I could not take no shows right. So and the doctor didn't allow staying in Delhi, Goa. But over there, those guys, 35 years they are working in Delhi, they have not been to President Palace. President Palace to go is not just thing. It's like they have no fans, nothing, it's all natural air over there. They were surprised to see the ballroom open. 35 years those guys who are there in Delhi, around 3-4 guys came with me.
They have not touched that. They were lucky enough to see
that place also. That was the happiest moment because getting the country's highest award from the President of India, Abdul Kalam, was the happiest moment.
That's nice. You got it from Abdul Kalam, a great president India has ever had. What is the role of the captain when you represent, especially in a football game? Can you just elaborate on it?
In football, it is a very, very difficult situation because football was mostly dominated by the Bengalis. And I being a governor and I being the captain of the Indian team, there should be a lot of jealousy. But when you have your colleagues with you motivate them on the field and just have the same. Whether you lose.
The role of a captain is a motivation.
Definitely.
You have the planning and the moments, okay, small things here and there, the last moment you can just guide you on the field. But the main thing goes on from the coach, right?
Yeah, in football, mostly we are just called, let's say, this team is called in coach. We have the meetings with the coach. So coach has his own plans of putting the team. In cricket there is a
lot of things
are there. But in football the coach is the main thing. Like
the captain is the person who is motivating and following the ideas of the coach on the field and trying to see that they are followed. That's the role you play. Any experiences as a captain? As you said, there was some jealousy.
First experience was in 1991. We were from Goa and the coach was from Hungary. We were going for a tour in Nepal and the coach has to declare a captain. So we had a camp in Calcutta, outside Salt Lake Stadium, and the coach called everybody, guys are there. I did not know that I was the captain, but the coach called and said that pre-Olympic team, under 9 pre-Olympic team, because the coach might have discussion with the All India Football Federation officials. They said Bruno will be the captain. It was a surprise decision. Yeah, and it was a shock decision for the Bengalis because there was Alok Das, I think so. He wanted to be the captain, but see, he was not that great player, but I can tell you, it was just a decision. He was Calcutta, so he gave it.
You said about it. And Atal Bhattacharya was a goalkeeper at that time?
No.
You have ever played with Atal Bhattacharya? No.
I played.
You played. Basket like that? Okay, you are not the...
Basket Ganguly was there. I have seen him play. He was opposition also.
Okay, you carried a which number t-shirt for the Indian team?
See, for me, number 9, number 10. Then numbers is because there were a lot of guys. Vijay was there. He wanted to put number 10. Go ahead. No issues about a number. It doesn't make a big difference.
When you started, it was of course when you are a senior, you want to give everything to everybody.
I was with Salabas had kept one jersey number 10 for me. So it's fine. But when I went with India, it doesn't make difference like whether which number you put. You should be happy that you
representing
India. Numbers doesn't make a difference. For me, like what you play, you achieve and you become champion. And talking about this Indian team, we captain 95, then 96 we won the South Kokula Cup. Then in Goa in 1998 we won one more trophy.
You know Nehru Cup, probably Nehru Cup. No, Nehru Cup they won only recently.
In Nehru Cup, what happens? The teams which we played and now they play is completely different.
You are playing the main teams. Hungary were there. I think Hungary has a very good football history. Also a good football league. Unlucky to make it regularly, they don't make it to the World Cup. But they got one of the good in Central European structure. They are one of the best football ethics. I mean, Hungary carries on a lot of history behind. Like Germany, Hungary carries. Maybe many things don't have that history, but Hungary has. Because initially Hungary, at the start of the World Cup, I think Hungary were a dominant team in the football. Coming to your this, let me ask you something about your personal life. Still, I want to elaborate on the Arjuna award. I am not finished with that. But let me before that get you a little bit easier and make you comfortable. Your personal life, what did you know? Like you talked about your father and mother education. When was the time you got married and how it happened?
See, married in 2002.
That's after you left football.
Yeah, I left football in 2002 because my wife's name is Nina. She's from Arjuna. I got 2 kids. My son, Brandon, in Don Bosco, and daughter, Brittany. She's studying 6th and 8th.
So you were you planned your marriage. I mean, it's not like during your football. When you are done with your football, it was the time you took up to your personal life.
Definitely, see, someday or some other, you have to get along with your life also. So once you finish your career, then you start something else.
My point of asking was that your better half was not along with you when you were playing.
No, she is not a sports person.
Okay.
I'll be frank, why? Because she doesn't know anything about football. It's like you.
It's the best way.
It's like the one time you see her, you fall in love.
Great.
That's the thing.
Okay, that was your personal life. Coming back to your Arjuna award, which I kept it half untouched. You won the Arjuna award, you came to Goa. What was the treatment Goa'S gave it to you? From my point of view, see, being an Arjuna award winner, I think if you were part of any other state, or even say if you're a country and you get a sports award in that particular country, I think even over the years when you're playing football or you've left football, there should be a person visiting you for some interview or some felicitations almost every month or a couple of times a month. Okay, that doesn't, we don't not elaborating on that again. But wanted to know how did the Goa'S treat you at that particular moment and how they treated you in the further down the day?
See, if you are a sports person, you can give me a life.
Yes.
First of all, I was a boarder. I was in Mondigiri boarding for 10 years.
Tough.
Yeah, today I can live my life with my mother, father. Because see, I know. Because see, once you are boarding, you think your mother and father is dead.
Yeah.
That's the way that I am brought up like that. For me, like when I got the Arjuna award, it was the happiest moment.
Done with it.
Done with it. Everybody used to come, say this. What the places?
Yeah.
But after my football career, there was a sad part. That I was, best sports person is without a job.
Oh.
Somebody came to interview me. It was in 2002. For that Euro 2002, yeah. 2002, I think so.
Okay.
And my interview came on the paper. And Matani was the sports minister. Parekar was the chief minister. Matani called me. Saw the interview. So Bruno, do one thing, give me a Parekar. And I promise you the job within 2 months or 1 month. And I tell you one thing, I give credit to Parekar and Matani. Because those guys who really helped me, they gave me the job. Everybody talks, but the guy who has given me the credit, Matani, is Parekar. I thank them. Because I still thank them, and I know what they have done.
Ultimately, the job is very important.
See, for me, I was a boarder. I played hockey, I played cricket, I played hockey, I played kabaddi, different games. I was a hockey national football, but now what job I am having in sports authority of Goa as a joint director coaching. I know all the games, but someday or another some things do happen. But you have to go ahead. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to stress. Like I wish if the Goa'S and in Goa basically, I always notice no matter how big what you do, what you achieve, you're always getting a feel of ignorance or neglected, and then you have to present yourself. That's a sad part when you yourself have to present yourself to get when you actually feel that somebody walk to you and do the things. It's a thing which will go on with Goa because it's staying in Goa, the treatment, of course, it goes vast. If you're not a star, actually a star, but you're never treated as a star. It doesn't go in Goa like that. I don't want to go much deeper on this subject. Coming to your footballing thing, you got a job in sports, right? A lot of things you're doing for football and other sports right now. What is the scope of the work, job?
See, my scope of work is like what I do now is like. See, I have not done anything like that because when you are. But what I do now is like I do monitoring of the coaching. I go all over. I don't tell anybody where I go.
Very good.
Because see, if you are doing monitoring and inspection of the coaches, you will not tell X person that you are going there. Because automatically an SMS goes there saying that, sir, I saw your passport, see, that doesn't look like. Because see, I go there and I find our coach not working and not, see, Ambe, you are a cricket player, I am a football player. And in sports, what is the first thing is the word D. It's discipline. And if my coaches are not disciplined and they are not according to their timing, I should fire them. Fire them is not fire them out. I should put one X word against them saying that you have given your training timing 4 o'clock and you yourself is coming around 4:30 means what?
Discipline.
Yes. If the coach has no discipline, I will check them for 1-2 times. But see, in life, everybody has to be forgiven and forgiving. You have to treat them like this. If they don't listen to you the third time, then the things come that you have to transfer in some way. That is my way of working. I won't be like a coach saying that, okay, I'll give him a chance, saying that he will work there. Because see, if you are a sports person, you will definitely not take a harsh decision against your own colleague saying that you are not doing it. But 2 times at least give him a chance, saying that okay, he will listen. I have issued him an office note, I have issued him a memo, saying that okay, he will listen. The third time he makes the same mistake that he is using that
He
doesn't want to work there. So definitely I will put up a file to my director saying that this coach is not this thing. Maybe we better bring him in the office and make him sit in the office, give him office work from 9:30 till 5:45. Let him do because he is doing some other work also. So that is the way I want to. Because see, I know coaching line has gone a bit in a sense, but to bring it to this, I have started working and I am doing my work. I don't need anybody to tell me what I am doing. I already tell my higher ups that I am on the way doing this, that I go here for monitoring this. But most of the time in the evening, I am on my reserve. Even if it's raining heavily, who said that you have not to come to work? You have
to report your job.
See, Ambe, if a guy is there to work, if a coach is there to work at 3:30 to 6:30, and the coach only comes around 4 o'clock, means what? If I have given a timing, say 3, if there is a match, say 4 o'clock, will you be present at 4:50?
No, you have to be there almost
at least 3:50 or at least 3:45, you have to be present. That is the message I want to send to these coaches. If you have given me the timing 3:30, be present at least 5 minutes to 3.
You are very particular about your scope. You are on a very responsible post where we don't understand this about 100 coaches, 200 coaches all around. 144 coaches, and of course every sport level is changing on how the coaches are behaving. If the coach, as you said, the Salu coach you remember and you respect it from that level. So that time there is not much SAP or other authorities operating. It was a freelancing and the hardy coaches who were teaching the schools. If you are going to increase the level of sports, and there is a lot of responsibility on you as you are monitoring these coaches and all the things, you certainly need to be tough because you cannot be so.
I have see, in sports, everybody, you are a friend of everybody. Some way or another, I had a lot of foreign coaches. They used to say, this is a field. You're on the field, I am not your friend. Outside, I'll come. Let's have a drink together, they will say like that also. They are there. Some coaches are there. Drink, sit, chat, something. But on the field, I know what practice I have done. In SAG we have grade 1 coach, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. In coaching there is no grade 1, there is no grade 2. This should be removed out from the minds of these coaches.
Exactly.
I am telling you, this should be removed. You are a senior coach, respect your seniority, respect the training, respect what you give to the trainees.
And that particular.
That particular, you respect, you, for me, you are not grade 1 coach, you are not grade 2 coach. All coaches are equal. Because what training you give to the junior, the same guy is giving to the junior. But in reality, you are senior in your own this thing.
And the best part is you have an admin person who is watching you. So if you are doing good enough, your grades up, the grades can go up and down. The grades go better.
See tomorrow at the end of the day, this now this started from me. I used to be first very Indian with the coaches. Now it started. I am doing the assessment report to me over here. Tomorrow I have to give the assessment report to the higher ups. What is the coach doing? I tell you one thing. For me, grade 1 coaches are not working.
Because they are all settled down.
See, I tell you one thing. Yesterday I have been to monitor a lot of places. But I have found some coaches not working. What happens, when I come there, you cannot give me this excuse or that excuse. Saying my wife is sick or my this is sick. No. If you want to take a leave, just call me before and tell me that. When I come there and you tell me that this is that.
So you are very particular about your scope. You are enjoying your job. You are enjoying your job. Lot of responsibilities. You have a lot of things to cover up. In your increase the level of sports in Goa. It's lot of course, some part of the percentage is coming on your shoulders. Lot of weight on your shoulders. You are enjoying your job. What do you think is actually missing in the structure of the Goan sports fraternity? I'm not talking about football now because I'm taking you out as a footballer and now I'm looking at you as an administrator of sports of the state. What is actually missing in Goan sports? Over the years, you have been a part of being a top sports person. You have seen Goa in sports. Over the years, what do you feel? Has Goa been doing good? Pretty frank enough, because you are a part of the admin thing also. But what Goa needs to think about it?
See, in Goa we have lot of footballers. In different games, football, say athletics, so this. For me, I feel if you are a goal, you should give due respect to a goal. He comes from outside the state. He comes, settles down and says like, I played in Bombay. I am a goal. But I say to myself, you being a goal, you play in Goa, take the honor and take the name, whatever is it. But some of them, I still remember. In football, especially, there was no scope in Goa first. There was scope in Bombay, most of the time.
In football also?
Yeah.
I thought football was the hub of Goa.
No. First, those guys
Like to rent up now.
they used to play for Tatas.
Okay.
Tatas. They played. Then now they're saying that I am a goal, I want to benefit it. See, that can be. I myself say I am a goal. I had got good offers from Calcutta. Why didn't you go to Calcutta? But that time means like your passion.
You need to be the son of Goa to be you need to be son of Goa and carry out the duties of being the son of Goa.
But one thing, you are a famous cricketer in Goa. I don't think so. You are getting that respect what you have to get.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say.
But for me, I say like I go to Calcutta. They will say like Bruno. They still remember.
Outside Goa, the moment you go outside Goa, the treatment is like, of course, you're the son of Goa. People love Bruno Coutinho. They are very. But as a sports person, as a celebrity, you look forward to something which is big. Of course, at home. It happens. We are at home. Maybe we are feeling that we are at home. At home, when we move back to home, we don't get the same respect. So maybe Goa is our home and they love us more than what we are supposed to get. And they give us more maybe, possibly, whatever happens. How do you cope up with your pressure and how you're commuting your day-to-day routines? And how do you manage this? And do you still play football or do you keep still fit about yourself?
See, during now after my job is this one, when I have breakfast, I go to play breakfast. Because see, I have to, some way or another, like every time I devote myself to work, somewhere or another, if I am a footballer, when there is a veteran game, I go to play. Because I have to play to keep myself fit. Because I am a person who is working hard, and I need to play and to keep myself fit. Because as for me, the fitness is the most important thing to be your daily life.
Well, during the chat, I had discussed, we were talking something about a beach football. Something about beach football. Would you like to tell us and how you would like to develop it? I mean, it's a thing which you have in it's a brainchild about you. How does it go?
See, the first thing I'll tell you, if a person comes to talk to me and the person knows me very well, definitely I'll speak to anybody. It's not that if you are a sports person, I'm not arrogant, nothing. It's not that in life. But in life, everything is like if you get it, like say,
very easily,
it is not that possible. I have not come up like that. I got it very easy. I have worked for it hard and I have got it. Talking about beach soccer, in 2006 we had one camp. In 2007 we had gone for the beach soccer pre-World Cup qualifying in Dubai. Raman was our manager. And,
pre-World Cup qualifying.
And in 2009 we had gone for beach games in Bali. First beach games in Bali. I was the chief coach. And it did really well, But, something was another, and all India Football Federation had sent me for the beach soccer seminar in 2010 in Calcutta. But, something or other should be done because, beach soccer is a sports where it is very applicable.
Especially even we have beach cricket, there's a lot of, especially post the ex-footballers can come and develop a lot of things in this. Because you see the veterans mostly coming into the beach football, they want something relaxing, short time duration. Correct what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true. But and beach soccer also is very, very sports where I feel if given me a chance, I can prove that there is something for me.
In Goa?
In Goa, all over India. But they should appoint and they should start doing something. I can
form a body of body.
Tomorrow, if All India Football Federation wants me to promote a game all over India,
you can do it.
I with my team of 5 wrestling, I can give them that the beach soccer is promoted all over India.
Looking forward to it, sir. Looking to have you do something on the beach soccer thing. Of course, it's a crazy game right now all over the world. There are World Cups taking place, and I think 3 times the World Cup has taken place on that beach soccer football. There was one in Dubai recently, last year I believe, and a couple of years back. You are back into limelight with your action, and you're moving with the sports fraternity of Goa, answering to the ministers, to the job-oriented thing, and your character has shown. Being on that particular position, you cannot carry on with the same Bruno who has grown up. Of course, he has to respect that position. You have to say no many times, and that no's are taken in different ways. You have to say many yeses, and you come out with many justification and statements which might be misread here and there. But that's the position you're carrying on, and you respect your position. And really nice talking to you, sir. I just wanted to ask you the last question which I ask everybody. Being the sports-oriented administrator right now in Goa, what would you advise any sports person or any personality or any child, any kid, any teen on how to grow up in life?
The first thing is discipline. See, if anywhere you go, if you are a disciplined child or if you are a disciplined guy, you can learn to live anywhere and you can learn to respect anywhere. But if you have no discipline, the guy has to be first and not foremost from anything or from the field. Is to be out.
I think Goa is in the safe hands with Bruno, especially the way he emphasizes in discipline and the way he has carried his life personally on discipline basis, tough nut, and he likes tough nuts. Thank you very much, Bruno sir. It's really nice having you with us, and thank you very much.
Thank you.